What's up, everybody? We're about 5 days away from the brand new season of Apex, Season 18, going to be named Resurrection. And we got some information about that, including the long-awaited, long-ago leaked Revenant rework. We got a few other details. We don't have full patch notes. We don't get those until August 7th. But let's go ahead and run through some of the details that we did get today. We're going to run through some details that EA put out themselves directly, and then that Alpha Intel / Dexerto put out themselves. I don't know why they get the information before EA actually puts it out, but they do. And so we're going to go through both. So let's go ahead and go through this. We have a Legend update. This is the first rework that Apex has ever done. They put out a video with It's Timmy that I'll go ahead and link down below. That is a really good explainer as well. It's Timmy talking to a dev and showing off what he actually does. But I'll link that below if you want to go watch that for yourself. So it says, for years, Revenant has been mirrored in feelings of rage, self-hatred, and lack of autonomy. He spent almost 300 years under the Syndicate's thumb with the help of Hammond, and all he wanted was to escape it. Which, by the way, they also put out a really good trailer for this season, and it made me think that like a Revenant live-action horror movie would actually go insane. It would be, I think it'd be really good if they did it well. Passive Assassin's Instinct. Highlight nearby visible enemies who are low on health. You crouch walk faster and have improved wall climbing. So, in the video with Timmy, they explained that if there are enemies with low health nearby, they'll be highlighted. But if you Revenant yourself, get them to low health, it marks it for your team with these almost like less than, greater than signs. These arrows pointing like right to the Legend's chest that can be seen through walls. The highlight of them being low can also be seen through walls. And then you still have the crouch walk faster, which you had before, and you have the wall climbing, which you had before, except now the wall climbing's been improved, so you have a lot more horizontal control, where it was really just more vertical before. Now you can move left to right with ease while you're wall climbing, and then, of course, you know, the other movement that you can combine with it. Speaking of movement that you can combine with his wall climbing, he now has something called, his new tactical is called Shadow Pounce, and if you remember before, it was the silencer, where he threw out those orbs, and it would silence enemies' abilities. That's gone. Now is Shadow Pounce. You have it's essentially a leap forward that you can hold down and charge. It's almost like if you always had jump pad, or, you know, you had echo, but you didn't have to throw out echo. You can now use his Shadow Pounce to leap forward. The longer you hold down the Q on keyboard and mouse, the LB/L1 on controller, the longer you hold it, the farther you pounce forward. Now, obviously, it's capped, but you can now pounce forward towards people to close the gap, use it to get out of fights and rotate away. You can even pounce onto a wall, right into wall climbing with like no delay. Once again, check out the video link down below with It's Timmy. It really shows off the ability as well. And then finally, Ultimate's Forge Shadows. Forge a shroud of hardened shadows around you that blocks direct damage and regenerates after breaking. Your shadows and tactical are refreshed on knockdowns. Revenant will be unlocked for all players all season long. Players can complete challenges by using Revenant throughout the season in order to unlock him permanently. But that Forge Shadows, it puts this like, it looks like a shield around you. It's like an orb. It's like this red orb around you. And so what it does is it takes all the damage. Now, they explained in the It's Timmy video, it's only bullets and melee, grenades, but it's not like gas damage, it's not storm damage, it's nothing like that. It's only impact damage, like I said, from punches, bullets, grenades. It's that. It's not other health damage like the ring and caustic gas. And it gives you essentially 75 extra health. It does increase your hitbox because the shadow becomes the hitbox, but it gives you 75 extra health, and as it says there, it regenerates on knockdown. So it's like having another blue armor, as Timmy said in the video, and so when you get a knockdown on somebody, it now regens back to that 75 health, but while it's regenning, if you take damage, the regen stops where it's at, and so if you get hit at 50, it doesn't regen to 75, it stays at 50, and then you take the damage from there. So this could be really, really good. It'd be good for solo queues, it'd be good for solo pushes. The Shadow Pounce is really good for getting in and out of fights, rotating quickly. So this could be a really good solo Legend. I'm glad we didn't get the leaked rumored ultimate of that like 1v1. I wish we did get wall running as his passive, or even as, probably not as tactical, but even as passive. I wish we'd got the wall running. We didn't get that. but I still think this is a really good move forward for Rev. I think this would make him a lot more viable in pubs and ranked. I've seen a lot of people talk about it, and I agree. I don't know how he fits in a comp because his team utility isn't really there outside of the Assassin's Instinct. But he'll be a good legend. I think saw Nicewick say he thinks he'll be a really good solo queue legend, and I have to agree with that. I think he will be a lot more used than he was before. I still don't think he'll be a meta legend, but I think he'll be a lot of fun and be used a lot more. And it'll be really interesting to see movement people use them. So now we get a charge rifle update. It says the charge rifle has been redesigned for immediate use in the Apex games. No longer does the infamous weapon fire a sustained beam. Newly fitted with an extended sniper mag attachment slot, so now you can put mags on it. And boasting a number of changes to its firing mechanics, legends familiar with the anti-Titan model during the Frontier War should feel right at home. Holding the trigger down will increase the weapon's charge, while releasing the trigger will decrease it. Once fully charged, a powerful energy projectile is released, which deals increased damage the further it travels. The projectile can pierce through multiple enemy legends, so watch out with which teammates you cozy up to. So as you can see in the GIF right here, when he holds it down, you can see the charge is near, but when he lets go, it won't shoot a not fully charged charge. You have to charge it all the way, and then it'll come out. You can see it's got a decent amount of bullet drop, and like it mentions, it will go through enemies. So if you 3-stacked in a line, it's going to hit more than just the first person. And then Mixtape is being brought in, or Mixtape is now getting Broken Moon sections. TDM and Gunrun are getting the core POI as a map. And then Control is getting Production Yard as a map. There was a ranked update that came out. They didn't really talk too much into specifics. I'm sure we're going to get that in the patch notes. But I'm going to go ahead and link that down below. I didn't make any content on it because I want specifics before I really do. But they're going to definitely try to balance out the kill bonus. They're increasing the kill bonus. They're increasing matchmaking time so you can get a lobby that more matches your skill. And a bunch of other stuff. I'll link that down below. And then when we get specifics, probably in the patch notes, I'll actually talk about it more. And then something new for today is the ranked reward rework. In previous seasons, players achieving Diamond plus ranks would get access to an exclusive season-long dive trail. We've been observing an unintended effect where the presence of a ranked dive trail during the drop would unduly influence where players wanted to land, either strongly avoiding or actively pursuing players with the trail. 99% of the time, if I'm going to land somewhere, I'm landing there unless like way too many teams are landing in one spot. Then I'll land adjacent and try to push in, but I don't avoid or chase dive trails personally. But I know people do, and I know people that do. A reward for being a top player shouldn't give away valuable information at a critical part of the match, so we've made a change to swap the dive trail reward with an epic banner frame as the diamond plus ranked reward. The epic banner frame lets players flex their hard-earned status at the start of a match, and more importantly, every time they take down other players. Badges, hollow sprays, and weapon cosmetics will be continued to be rewarded and ranked as in previous seasons. It doesn't say it here specifically, but I think it's safe to assume that that banner frame goes away just like the dive trail did. It's interesting. I don't know if they really should have done this or not, but it's interesting. It's a thing. Community sticker bundle, fan art, stickers. That's cool. If you did the fan art, that's cool for you, but otherwise, I don't. Death Dynasty Collection event. We are getting a Death Dynasty Collection event at the very beginning of the season. In that is going to be a recolor of Rev's Heirloom, along with the skins you can see here: R9 Wraith, Havoc, and Crypto. Recolor of that Lobus skin, which I hate. Longbow, Wingman, Catalyst. I like that Catalyst skin a lot. They don't show all of them. There is a skin for my girl Vantage, which is awesome. Here's a look at Rev animations for his recolor. That's a pretty sick inspect animation. But that's what the recolor is going to look like. This is their second recolored Heirloom. If you don't remember, they had the Wraith Heirloom recolor, but so that's what the event's going to be. And then there's a reward tracker for it. Pretty typical reward tracker. It's not going to be like the current event that's going where you got to scan nodes and stuff. Just not interested in that. And then store tabs. So that's it from EA and Respawn themselves. But let's go ahead and look at what we got from Dexerto. They gave us a little more insight on what we can expect here. So we are looking at now what the weapon buffs and nerfs are going to be, essentially. So we'll go right down to Season 18 weapon buffs and nerfs. the care package, now the Prowler is going into the care package. The Hemlock is coming out. The care package is, Prowler is getting Select Fire, which is before when I started playing Apex. I've been playing Apex for 13, 14 months now. So I'm excited to finally be able to try out the Select Fire. We'll have to see if we get any specific nerfs or buffs to it, but Prowler with its current damage, its big mag, it'll be quite interesting coming out of the care package. The Hemlock's going back to the floor loop, but will receive a damage recoil buff that improves it over its previous non-care package versions. So I expect it to essentially be the care package Hemlock. I'm not a big Hemlock person, but maybe I'll use it on the ground more because it'll be care package level, but I would never pull it out of the care package. Disruptor rounds are coming back. Once again, this is way ahead of my time, so I'm excited to get a chance to use the Disruptor rounds. They might have come back one time in the last year. I want to say they didn't, but it's a hop-up, as you know, if you're an experienced player, that does more damage to, does enhanced shield damage, so it does extra damage while your opponent is still shielded before you get to health. Coming out of the Crafter is the Rampage and the R9. The Nemesis and the Mozam with Hammer Point are going into the Crafter. I think a lot of people crafted the R9, including myself. A lot of people will craft the Nemesis. I probably will sometimes if like the Crafter, other Crafter items aren't very good. I'll probably craft the Nemesis, but otherwise I'll probably stick with Flatline R3. That's unfortunate. Let's try this again. Thank you, Dexerto, for that. Buffs, replacing the Prowler. The Hemlock AR is the only buff we know about so far. As it returns back to floor loot along with a damage increase and recoil buff. Compared to the care package version. So it's going to be even stronger than the care package version. Interesting. Respawn is also pleased with the popular Nemesis AR in its current build, so no changes are planned due to it rivaling well against the R301 and Flatline ARs. Against a good player, the 301 does not match up with the Flatline or the Nemesis as it is. I would have liked to seen a small buff to the R3 or a small nerf to the Nemesis and Flatline, but you know, me. Nerfs, SMGs. The biggest change of nerfs comes from all the SMGs being hit with the following. So now SMGs will have strafe speed reduced. I think that's a horrible idea because you're lowering the skill ceiling. Headshot multiplier reduced. Whatever. I still think that's I think that's okay, but I think you should have left the SMGs as they were. R9 specifically is getting a nerf on top of those nerfs where the ammo magazine size is reduced again. I'm sure it'll be a bullet per mag like it was before. Anything more than that and you're like killing this gun. And vertical recoil is increased, and that's because people were using it like an AR. I'm okay with that, but once again, I think you should have just left it as it was. And then the Mastiff shotgun is the blast pattern has been tightened to gain more consistency instead of shooting a more widespread spray. I don't know why that's under nerfs. I personally think that's a buff, but hey. So we'll find out more about everything I covered today, minus probably the rev rework. We won't get any new information, but we'll learn a lot more about a lot of the stuff I talked about today on August 7th when we get patch notes, and I'll definitely be sure to cover that. But with that being said, this will be linked down below, as well as the EA article that came out today. The It's Timmy video will also be linked down below, so please check all of those out. Also linked down below will be my Twitch. Live pretty much every day. I will be live around 5 to 5:30 Eastern on August 8th to play Season 18. And so, please follow me there. Come check me out. Come say hey. Let me know you came from the YouTube video, whatever. I really do appreciate that. And all of my social medias will be linked down below. So, please follow me there. Interact there, whatever. Always makes my day when I get to interact with other people through my social medias. But with that being said, let me know what you think about the rev rework, what we know so far about the nerfs and buffs, the dive trail, whatever. Let me know down in the comments below, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when a patch notes video come out, rev video come out, and then other content like Warzone comes out. But I will see you on whatever map rotation we get for Season 18, but I will see you in Season 18 of Apex. Get frying. Have a good day. Bye.